He hit all his milestones so quickly. Everything physically was happening so fast. And then we started realizing that there were other things that weren't happening.
When I first heard the word autism, my first reaction was disbelief.
And you start thinking of graduations, weddings, grandkids. And when I first heard autism, I honestly didn't believe that any of that could ever be in our future.
He had a few words. He didn't have a great deal of words at 18 months, and at 24, even less. So the few that he did have just seemed to be slipping away.
I knew something was wrong, and it was his 2-year checkup. And so she called him developmentally challenged and gave us 3 doctors' names and said it'll take 6 to 9 months to get into one of these doctors and get a diagnosis. From the time we went to the pediatrician to where she tells us 6 to 9 months to get in, and we have no idea what to do, I literally did not sleep, did not eat, had folders full of just information, learned as much as I could, and I knew that I had to save my son's life.
I still didn't have any idea what direction to go with. And to me, that's the most frustrating thing, not having any kind of game plan, any direction. So it leaves you hopeless.
It's the scariest thing a parent can have happen, and you don't know what to do. And Sarrc is a place where you can start.
Sarrc's mission is to provide excellent services to children, adults, and their families impacted with autism across the lifespan, to perform research and to ensure that our programs are based on evidence-based principles.
At Sarrc, parent training is one of the most critical features of all of our intervention programs across all of our ages. So from the youngest little guy in the toddler classroom in the community school to even our adults who might be receiving some one-on-one support. We want to encourage the parents and the caregivers to participate in that, to have a feeling like they're part of the team, and to really have the understanding of how they can help support their child.
Sarrc came in and started doing the one-on-one sessions in home, as well as the parent training. David was unable for me to be able to leave his side, his immediate side. And now I can drop him off, he's smiling and happy as could be.
And that's what we were looking for, and Sarrc has those programs to meet the needs of the period you're in. In that moment in time, we were just in need of someone to say, this is your jump start, this is how you get going.
The community school is an inclusive preschool program for children who have a diagnosis of autism, as well as their typically developing peers.
Sarrc's amazing about having, putting typical children with autistic children, because that's where he's learning how to be social and how to get that social interaction.
It brought a social piece to our relationship with our son that we just never had before.
He's progressing so much that I can actually see it happening in front of my eyes. During a session, overnight, I can see his progress.
I think one of the challenges he's going to face is being in a society and not being able to feed, not being able to totally feed on society. But at the same time, he's a brilliant teenager. Right now he's doing the good deeds work and the library works. And gosh, he really loves coming with them.
All of Sarrc's programs are designed to meet the unique needs of those individuals in the program and provide those services across their entire lifespan so we can grow with them, and as their needs change, we can accommodate those.
What surprises me about Victor is that he's developing his social skills every week, and he's also becoming more of a risk taker and being more open-minded and trying new things, and that's what really surprises me.
These programs are all designed to help the adult with autism become as independent as possible, as socially included and engaged with their community as they can.
I like to see him having a job, living independently. And why not having a family? He deserves that. Everybody. Yeah, he's a really sweet guy, and he deserves someone to love him.
I'm participating in the Women's Empowerment Program, and I love it.
She was more inclined to stay at home as opposed to going out and meeting other people. And since she's been in the Women's Empowerment Group, she has learned more skills in interacting with the other girls in the group. She's learning transportation skills. She's learning how to determine routes for the buses. She's also looked into information about dial-a-ride and how that would affect her from going to one section of the city to another.
I'm learning how to use bus routes, and I'm also learning how to make new friends. My goal is to one day live out on my own and someday have my own family.
John Kennedy used to say the way our civilization will be judged will be the way we address individuals with disabilities. And I hope we can all rise to that occasion.
Sarrc has given us a roadmap. Although it changes constantly, they're there to help us adapt.
I always say this, my dark years are gone, and I'm just seeing the light.
We were asked by Beth's cousin if Ethan could be the ring bearer in their upcoming wedding. You know, you as a parent want to protect your son, and we just didn't know if really he was going to be up for that type of moment. The ceremony started, and Ethan was acting up, and he was restless, and we'd already been there for a while, and then all of a sudden we get the sign, okay, go time. And I'm just really nervous. I don't even know why I was so nervous. And I said, okay, buddy, here we go. And I put Ethan down and I grabbed his hand. And we started walking down the aisle together. And halfway down the aisle, I just look at him and he kind of glances up at me, and I just let go of his hand, and he just walks right down the aisle, just like, Dad, I got it. It's no problem. Don't worry about it. And it was like he knew, like, Dad, just, I got this. And that, it was never, ever forget that moment.